Hey there, welcome to the channel. So how many of you feel that the most searched gluten-free recipe that you look up is gluten-free chocolate chip cookies? I know for one that typically when Tara wants cookies, she wants chocolate chip. So today, let's make a gluten-free chocolate chip cookie in a cast iron skillet. I'm Jamie with Savorysaver. I share gluten-free recipes, tips, tricks, and resources to make your gluten-free lifestyle easier. So please consider hitting subscribe and let's get started. So I found today's recipe at King Arthur Baking. It actually came in the catalog that they sent me. So as far as I know, I can find that online. So we're gonna link that recipe down below along with the ingredients. They'll be listed in the description. We are using gluten-free Measure for Measure. This recipe says you can do it with the Measure for Measure, or if you're making the gluten version, you can do it with regular flour. So I'm gonna assume we're not gonna have any issues with this recipe. There are only 10 ingredients. And that's only if you count the egg and the separate egg yolk as 2 ingredients. It says you can mix it with a mixer. We're gonna do it by hand because they're chocolate chip cookies and I don't wanna make any more dishes than I already have. Let's get started. King Arthur gives the ingredients for this recipe both in volume and in weight. I kind of did both today. I weighed out my flour and my sugars, but everything else is by volume. I don't figure it's gonna make that much of a difference, so that's why I did it that way. The first instruction is to preheat the oven. I'm gonna wait on that only because we're using gluten-free flour, so I wanna give that flour some time to hydrate with the wet ingredients. So to a large bowl, I'm gonna add 1 cup or 213 grams of brown sugar. The original recipe calls for dark brown sugar. I only have light today, so that's what I'm using. The biggest difference is there's a little more molasses in dark brown sugar. I'm okay just using the light today. We're also going to use 1/4 of a cup or 50 grams of granulated sugar. I'm going to just take a second and break this up. The recipe says to do everything together and then do this, but I want to break up any pieces of brown sugar. There you go. That should just make everything dissolve just a little bit faster. Next, I'm going to add 1 stick of unsalted butter that I've melted. And if you're using salted butter here, when we get to the salt, just dial your salt back a little bit so it doesn't make your cookies salty. So I'm gonna put that in there. And you want this not to be super hot because we're gonna add a couple eggs. We're actually gonna add 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. So the other egg white will be cooked off for Oliver. The last wet ingredient, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I'm gonna go in there 1 more time just because my extract is getting low. All right, let's give everything a mix to combine it. All right, everything's been mixed together. It's pretty smooth, so I'm comfortable with that. It took no time at all. That melted butter really makes a difference in not having to have just softened butter. All right, guys, we're down to the home stretch already. We're gonna add 1 1/4 cups or 150 grams of the King Arthur Measure for Measure gluten-free flour. We're gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder to give it some rise. We're gonna add a teaspoon of fine salt. And if you're using salted butter, cut that back a little bit. Maybe cut it back to a 1/2 to 3/4 of a teaspoon to make up for the difference. Next, I'm gonna combine everything until there's just a few streaks of flour remaining. Should not take long at all. All right, a little bit of flour in there, not gonna worry about that. Let's add 1 cup of chocolate chips. These are the older chocolate chips. The chocolate has bloomed, but it does not mean it's bad, so we're gonna bake it off. Now you wanna mix everything and fold it in until there's no streaks of flour. And you also wanna preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me grab our cast iron. The recipe calls for a well-seasoned 10 1/4 inch cast iron pan. This is right around 10, I think. If you're baking in a smaller or larger one, I would keep everything the same, but I would definitely adjust your cooking time. It may take less time if you're going into a bigger skillet or more time if you're doing a smaller skillet. But if you have a cast iron skillet and it's just not the exact size, I would still try this recipe, just watch your baking time. This is well seasoned, so we don't need any kind of oil in the pan. Let's spread this out evenly in the pan, and I am gonna try to just use this spatula and not get an offset one. All right, it is spread out evenly in the pan, looks good. My oven again is preheating to 350 degrees. Once it's in the oven, you want to bake it for 25 to 30 minutes. You want the top to be lightly golden and you want the edges to start pulling away from the pan just a little bit. At that point, I'm going to move it from the oven over to a rack to cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to slice it up while it's still warm and give it a try. Okay, real quick, there it is, slice cut out of it. You saw the mess. First slice is always messy. There it is on the plate. Let's give it a taste before we talk about it. This is really good. I actually really like Skillet cookies, and when the people at Tara's work have a birthday party and there's a cookie cake, usually she sneaks a piece home for me because she can't eat it, so I usually get an extra slice of that. This recipe, super easy, came together in I think like 10 minutes or so. Then it baked. I did bake it for the full 30 minutes. I felt that it needed it. Let it cool for 10 minutes, cut it. First piece is messy, but we'll see what happens as it cools. A lot of times it firms back up and it's an easier slice. It is soft, it is chewy, really good taste, really good texture. Now, one of the questions you guys always ask in the videos are, have you tried it with another flour blend? I have not. So that being said, it is a cookie recipe. And usually cookie recipes that are gluten-free tend to not have a whole lot of issues when you convert them from one gluten-free flour blend to the other. So I definitely think it's worth a try. If your gluten-free flour blend does not have xanthan gum in it, then I would start with about a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum to help give it some structure and adjust from there. Cookie recipes usually are about a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum per cup of gluten-free flour. So if your mix doesn't have it, try that and see if that works. As far as gluten-free baking recipes go, this is easy. It tastes good. I think anyone's gonna like it even if they're not gluten-free. Guys, what do you think of this recipe? Have you seen it? Do you wanna make it? Do you not wanna make it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I wanna thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.